How do you help your grandchildren develop values and skills?
Values and skills are interesting things. Values is a particular one. I'll come back to in a moment. Skills are things you can do. Now, let me just start with that practical side. Skills, intellectual skills, practical skills. We are living in a society that is fast losing the ability to pass on skills from one generation to another. The parents of one generation are not passing on the skills to the next generation, passing on practical skills, even at that level through a generation. It gives you power and capability in life, but there's a power in having a variety of skills in life. And so teaching those things is important. So as Sally mentioned earlier, I've got photographs on my phone. I'm out there with my grandchildren, and same as with my children, I've got the wheel off the car and I'm showing them how to change a brake disc or put new brake pads in, or do these jobs. And I've had my grandson changing batteries with me and things like that. What was a joy to me was, with my own son, we did a project together at school. He had a project for technology and I worked on it with him. I showed him how to do the drawings and I showed him how to do the soldering and the wiring. He did a lot of it himself. He took it to school. I didn't do it for him. But when we were away on holiday, I came back finding with somebody's computer open on the table, soldering parts that he had to go. And he actually impressed his now wife by fixing something that needed soldering electronics in Bogota, or something had broken. He took it to pieces and fixed it ready for the next performance and so on. And those are important skills to pass on. So sitting down with our grandchildren and actually showing them how to cook. Sally does that with our kids, and they love it. They love the feeling of coming away and accomplishing something, particularly if they're already talented or gifted in that way. Playing a musical instrument, really important to invest in that. That's gone way down in our country. People don't learn to play an instrument anymore. Who's going to play the keyboard or the guitar in the next generation? We want to invest in our young. So passing on those kind of skills. There's a whole host of practical skills as well as intellectual skills that we can pass on to our grandchildren and show them. It's not happening in society. And I think one of the ways we can be different is to spend time with people. Instead of in front of the screen, here's how to, saw a piece of wood. And I've had my young grandchildren with saws and drills. I think it's wonderful to have all this dangerous equipment around. I'm scared pieces in case I'm going to send them back home in pieces to their parents. But, you have to be careful with that. We try to teach them the safety aspects of that as well. Yes, we've taught them those things. I even taught my daughters to shoot with an air pistol in the garden and hit targets. That was a terrible skill, really. But, I wanted them to have a rounded life so they weren't just academic, that they could actually do practical things. Although academic things are a skill, learning how to study and read and write well and all that sort of thing. So those are really important. I think it's how we can spend time with our children as we grow up. Sally reads to them, and getting a love for books and learning that reading is a valuable thing in life. That's a great thing you can instill that particular thing in them, because books is one of the most treasured things we have, and to be able to read and access other people's thoughts is amazing. And I think Sally's very good at passing on that sort of thing as well.
Oh, well done, Grandma.
I think there are some other things that you can do as well, and I'm thinking about skills here perhaps more than values, in that I think values are it's an osmotic thing, isn't it? They pick up values through being with them, but you can do things that help with that. So for example, supposing you're really inspiring me to do a little bit more of this than perhaps I've done more recently, but it's maybe you want to spend some time cooking with your grandson or granddaughter. Well, why not cook a meal for the parents? Cook it together and with your grandchild, make a beautiful table decoration and invite the parents to that meal, and then the child can feel really, that they've done a lovely thing for their parents. Or it might be helping them to make something for their parents, that like a birthday card or something that they want to do as a little secret with you, and make something beautiful for their parents. So you're trying to give them those opportunities. Maybe you can finance something like a music lesson that the parents wouldn't be able to afford, or something like that. Or maybe you can give your time to make it possible. So our little 4-year-old grandson Hal, he goes to swimming lessons with his cousin Jonah, and our oldest daughter takes them, but that means we step in and do the school run for the older two while she's taking the younger one swimming because they have an age gap between them. So it's looking for ways that you can help the parents to have that opportunity with their children. You don't want to take all the fun things as grandparents, and that might be giving your time or your finances, or it's looking for things that you can do with the grandchildren that sow to their interests or help them invest back into their own family, both now and in the future.
When we're trying to pass on a culture, and I'm talking about the culture of Scripture, the culture of the kingdom of God here, we're trying to pass on the virtues of the kingdom, which is a value or something we prize and treasure turned into an action that makes a difference. And that's the full picture. So it's not just that I value a skill like car mechanics, but when I see somebody broken down by the side of the road, I stop and I can fix the problem for them at inconvenience and cost to myself. That's a virtue. And that's what I want to teach my grandchildren, not just to change the wheel, but to change the wheel for somebody else in need who doesn't have the tools on the side of the road so that they can be on their way.